We're going to forego the data check just to get everything we can out of Steve Sadove. Let's bring him in right now. Chairman, Chief Executive Officer, Saks Fifth Avenue, the magic of Fifth Avenue and 50th in Manhattan.
How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
It's a recovery story, but in spades. How gloomy was it early '09? How grim was it?
It was a tough environment. The consumer basically had stopped shopping. Think about our customer. They're tied to how do they feel about their net worth, and the markets collapsed, right. And everything that we buy is discretionary, and they basically said, I'll shop my closet. So it was a tough environment. I
like the closet idea. Bring up the number of the day, folks. This is painful for me. I just went on Saks.com and I just looked around. The number is $2,990. It's for a little thing from Oscar de la Renta, stitch pleated silk caftan. Bring up that photo, Rex, if you can. I think this would look good on Rex, but I know, look at that. You can see, like, you know, it's just like it's got the look going. There it is. That's just a summer dress for a cool $3,000. Who is your customer?
Well, I think our customer is a higher-end customer. The average income would be in about a $200,000 plus income level. It's a female-oriented customer.
Really?
You know, by and large female. You didn't notice, huh? It's probably about 80–85% of the business is female versus male, and it's a customer that wants quality. They want value. You know, you look at a dress like the Oscar de la Renta one, and it's about the design characteristics, about the workmanship. You know, the customer changed during the recession. Prior to the recession, I think there was a little bit of spending in terms of, I want it, I'll buy it. Now there's very much an attitude towards, I want to understand the workmanship, what goes into the product, the materials. That's an important component of it.
And I was stunned at the tourist component of your main store at 5th and 50th. It's 20% or so, right?
Tourist component, that's both domestic and international.
Yeah, sure.
It's an important part of the business.
And yet you close 6 stores, $70 million of revenue. You take out 520,000 square feet. Why did you take out those full-line stores?
You know, I think that over time there were some real estate deals that were done that weren't terrific. These go back, well, years and years ago. And we had some underproductive real estate space. If a store's not productive, it's losing money, we have a lease that's coming due, it's easy. You close the store because it doesn't make sense.
Bring up, Rex, a photo that Victor's up on there. This is the magic of New York. There's something, it's so wonderful near the holidays where you have to put gates up to protect the windows from all the people looking at your window displays. This is the romance of retail, and yet Williams-Sonoma or you or others say, I'm sorry, it's all direct, it's all .com. Isn't .com for the woman you want? Isn't that a sterile experience compared to the magic of this?
No, I don't agree with that. First of all, I agree with the magic of that. That's the core of our company. It's Saks Fifth Avenue. It's all about that store, and that's the aura of it. But that represents 20% of the company. It's not the other 80%. The internet is a very important growing piece. The consumer's thinking differently now. Don't think about it as disparate channels. The customer's thinking, I want to buy it anywhere, anytime I want. And they're shopping online, looking at it in the store, buying online, returning it in the store. It's a multi-channel experience.
Let's look at your stock chart, which isn't pretty. Well, it isn't. It's pretty in the Sadove tenure here. I mean, you come back nicely. I'll pull it out there, Victor. You can see the collapse, the struggle of Saks, and you really come back. How do you keep that line on the right side going? What is the key financial metric to keep that stock performance going?
I think the primary metric is going to be whether we can deliver continued improvement in operating margin. We have an aspiration to get ourselves to an 8% operating margin. We were about half of that level last year. We're making some meaningful improvement this year. We reported yesterday earnings were up 50% versus a year ago.
Do you do it on the cost side, or you do it on matching revenue to nominal GDP?
No, I think it's going to be growth in same-store sales is going to be critical.
Which was killer, 8%,
we had 10%. 10% comp growth last quarter. We need to continue to have top-line growth. We've got to maintain the cost structure. So we're continuing to make some.
Can you do that without me participating every weekend?
Absolutely. Okay, but we like you participating.
We like that.
We like that.
Pim is participating. I'm not.
But you got to maintain the cost in terms of controlling the costs. But I think it's revenue growth and it's improvement in gross margin. One of the things that we've seen has been a remarkable improvement in full price selling, less promotions, more about what luxury goods is all about, which is scarcity, exclusivity, limited distribution.
Am I right? Things are becoming scarcer now. You guys are managing that foolishness.
We're managing
the
inventory. All the sector is managing the inventory, and I think that we're focusing on making sure there's differentiated product.
Right. Look at this chart here. This is clothes versus stores. I want to get back to a dangerous floor, but there's Polo. and up they go, and that's more like a clothes thing I'm going to suggest, although that store they built at 72nd is remarkable. And there you guys coming back, normalized back 5 years. Do you want to be, as you say, in the luxury clothes business, or are you still managing real estate and stores and all that? I mean, do you want to be more towards Polo, or do you want to be more towards Nordstrom in terms of business plan?
Well, I think we're not a vertically integrated retailer like Ralph Lauren.
Right.
Largely, we're buying and selling other people's products, although Saks, the brand, is becoming increasingly important. So, for example, we launched our men's collection business 3 years ago. This year, it'll be our largest selling men's brand. So now you're starting to see an emergence of the role of the Saks brand playing. But we're also we're not going to have the number of stores of a Nordstrom. We have 46 regular full-line store Sakses. I don't think you need a lot more of them. But I do believe that we're going to continue to see an elevation of the Saks brand and more exclusive product.
When you talk to someone, to pick on Valentino, when you talk to Valentino, are you worried about their couture, or are you worried about the line down? Because when I go up there and look at the line down, Red Valentino, whatever it's called, it's like holidays every day. It's like a fist fight on the floor.
Well, it's about both. I think there's a role played by the couture line, and there's a role played by the more accessible price line. So we're carrying both, and for a large number of the brands, we're carrying, what's making Saks special is that we're competing at a good, better, best price point within luxury.
Right.
And there's a customer for that best price point. And in fact, that customer is growing right now. We're seeing an acceleration of moving back towards the higher price points. But there's a customer at the good, better price zones too, but you've got to have both.
I've got just a minute left with you. I remember as a kid walking into your first floor. You're the only major department store, Bergdorf as well, that hasn't screwed up the first floor. You walk in, it's just still the Saks magic, and you've got the dangerous bags all around the edge. What's the gross margins on the bag walls around the edge?
Very attractive.
Could you divulge? We need to make some exclusive news here.
No, we're not going to divulge the number, but I could tell you that the productivity of that floor in New York, first floor in New York, is remarkable. And remarkable productivity.
Okay, let's get to the final question. Very important. How many bags should a woman have?
As many as they have shoes.
I can't top that. That's an unimaginable amount. I'm speechless.
A bag for every occasion.
What's the hottest bag right now in the store?
Oh, we have a number of bags that are hot from a number of designers.
You are so political. I can't even get a name out of them. Steve Sadove, come back, please.